Welcome to another edition of 2 on 2, and I'm here with my guy Alvin Gray, writer, producer, actor. I mean, you just put everything inside the pot and just stir it up. That's what my guy does. So check us out. We're gonna get in depth. We're gonna ask some deep questions. All right, so stay tuned. You wanna go to that next level, huh? It ain't easy. Nope. But you gotta fast a little bit. Let's talk about it. Thank God. Welcome to another edition of 2 on 2. I had the pleasure of chopping up with my guy Alvin Gray. Doing some big things. Writer, producer, actor. I mean, you're doing a lot.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Doing a lot, man. Got some movies on Tubi.
Yeah.
Movies on your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna dive in. Where you from?
I'm from here. I'm from Baltimore.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. My whole life. I left out for like a year, but other than that, I've been here 37 years.
All right, so you know when you say Baltimore, we gotta go east, west.
I'm northeast. You know, I'm safe. I don't have like no place I really rep. I moved around a lot when I was a kid. But I would say to be safe, I'm over east.
Over east?
Yeah, I'm over east. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, far as like, what made you, fall in love with like writing and then shooting? Wanted to bring, what you write to life.
So I grew up a little differently than my colleagues per se or whatever. Mm-hmm. I really wasn't a fan of my childhood, and I found myself always creating stories with my action figures to escape the reality surrounding me. And as I got older, I realized that, hey, just because I gotta stop playing with action figures don't mean I can't, play with bigger people. Pause, I guess, I don't know, but I started dealing with actors and like, hey, let's make stories, and it just stuck with me from a kid. I've been making movies in my head since I was a child, ignoring the abuse in the background or just ignoring my environment and create my own worlds, and that's something that just stuck with me since then, and I just kept going.
So people don't understand, like, it's different when you're acting, right? But when you're a writer, you're writing as if you're that person, this person, but then you're also writing for the audience.
Yeah.
And you gotta try to answer all of the questions that you may come through when you're writing and you're doing a movie.
Most definitely.
Because that's one of the things I hate is when you watching a movie and then you get to the end, it's like you leave me with a question.
Right. It's a cliffhanger. Yeah. Right.
So I was watching a few of your movies, and I like how you tie everything in. Towards the end. Sometimes it's not even the end. Like you're answering some of the questions throughout. Yeah. So tell me about that process. Like, what goes through your head when you're writing? Yeah,
I think one of the benefits of being a producer and a actor and a writer is that I'm able to tap into all elements of the artistry. So when I'm writing, I actually put myself in the place of the character and ask questions as just the character talking to the writer back and forth. So it leaves little room for error when it comes to open spaces, because I am the actor talking to the writer and I'm able to bring that bridge together. A lot of writers, they just have a good story idea, but they don't understand the dynamics to go behind the scene as an actor. They're like, okay, this is a good story, this is good lines, but they don't they can't breathe the soul into it because they can't tap in that close. And with myself, when I write, I literally turn into each character down to, what color socks I'm wearing. So when I'm writing these scripts, I'm always questioning not just myself as a writer, but questioning myself as the actual character, as an actual actor. So that's how I'm able to bring more realism to my scripts and to my stories, because I'm able to tap in a little bit deeper, because I have the advantage of being an actor and also a script writer.
You get both sides.
Yeah.
So by writing like that, how many times have you gone back and changed something because you, right? Because you, all right, it's done.
Yeah.
You did the hard part, but then all of a sudden, maybe a day later or 2 days later, however your process is, you
Yeah.
go back and as you're reading, you're like, I don't like
See,
that.
it's the thing. So let me be transparent 100%. My way of shooting, my way of directing, my way of being in this business is totally unorthodox. You know, so a lot of stuff that I might say, a lot of professionals or whatever might disagree with it. I don't look back. When I go, you know, whatever I write, it's done.
It's done.
Whatever I put out, it's done. And that's the secret of why I put out so much stuff so fast. It's because I care, but I don't care. It's like, it's done. I keep it real. You know, like I feel like sometimes in the cinematic world, we get too lost in do it again. Oh, let's redo this. Like, that's not real. You know, at that point, and okay, I'm not knocking it though. You know,
Right.
But to me, I'm like, I want to capture the rawness. I want to capture the real. So I don't really look back too much. I write it and I just put it out. And if I don't like it for part 2, for the next one, I learn from that. But I don't really go back too much, and I don't really do a lot of over and over and over again. So I want to capture that realness from the jump, you know?
So at what point did you say, you know, I want to take this seriously? Like, I want to pursue this? Because, you know, in my line of business, I started out window tinting, and then I said, okay, I'm going to take this to another level. But then you fall out of love with what you love to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, most definitely.
Right? And so at some point, what was that point for you when you was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this?
So here's the thing. I was doing this maybe 15 years ago. And I was pretty good at it. This is before the social media era. And I was doing, like, you know, a couple movies here, did the newspapers and news stations, and I saw a transition in the industry was happening. So I quit. And I quit for like 6 or 7 years. And I got married, and my wife caught me doing some dumb stuff outside that I shouldn't have been doing. And was like, listen, I love you and I want to be with you, but we can't keep messing with this stuff. You're gonna have to do something else, in a sense. And just randomly, you know, I was just like, hey, look, I used to do movies. And she looked at it and was like, yo, you were really good. You need to tap back into that. And at that point, I was like, well, if this lady that I'm in love with is telling me I need to do something besides this stupid stuff, let me tap back into what I'm good at. And from that point, there hasn't been a month or two in between that gap of me meeting her where I haven't been doing a new project. Rather, it was the movie Sweet Dreams, the TV series, the web series Risky Business, Senior Cut Days, or, you know, whatever. You know, I constantly been putting out products back to back. So I don't remember what the question was, but I think I answered it.
Yeah, no, you did. You did.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know you got, what, 2 kids?
5.
5 kids? Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to say, like, the why that you're in this? Like, is that your why?
At this point, I would say definitely the motivation of me to keep going and the motivation for me getting back in this all falls back on family.
Okay.
100%. You know, because before I met my wife, again, I was outside doing some crazy stuff. You know,
we all got a path.
Yeah, you know. So when I met her and I realized I needed to, if I wanted to keep this woman, I needed to, you know, follow her lead and just kind of change up some things. I needed to take whatever talents I had and make it into some type of profit. So, and that's what I did. I said, you know what, forget this fast money. Let me go back to my roots and let me out hustle everybody out there. Let me put my old school knowledge to this new school technology and create something, create a brand. That's where I am right now. You know, just taking everything I learned from back then and blending it to today's technology.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, when you say out there, so it's safe to say you in the streets?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't no crazy Suge Knight.
Right. But I mean, whether you was big time, small time, still. So I like to say this, and I say this with confidence, is that those that have been out there in the streets, that's something that can't be taught. Like, that's something that a person that has went to college, they can't just go and learn that.
Right. Correct.
Right? And when you out there, that's something where you gotta try to maneuver, right? You gotta watch out for who's trying to rob you.
Everybody,
right?
On both sides.
Both sides, right? But if you can take that same type of hustle mentality, you can take that same type of drive, and you apply it to something, you know, that's legal and that's positive.
Right.
It's like nothing can really phase us. Nothing can scare us because we come from out there.
Right. You get it. Right. Right.
So that's why some of the greatest successful businessmen come from out there.
Yeah.
Is because, I mean, the boardroom, let's just be honest, there's nothing in this boardroom that can scare me.
Right.
We come from out there.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
right. So this is easy. They say, Alvin, you make it look easy. Like, cause no, this is easy.
Right.
You know, in a sense. I don't want to let's knock it all.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't want to knock it, but
yeah,
I'm just, you know, like when people talk about Jay-Z, you know what I mean? You talk about someone that's been there.
Right.
And now all he's doing is just taking that same mentality and enhancing it, and now he's over here.
Yeah, same difference. You know, so I'm blessed and fortunate enough to be able to not have to worry about none of the nonsense and just to be able to create, because that's originally, that's where I'm from.
Right.
I'm a storyteller, like I said from the beginning, just because I had a crazy childhood background. I was always pulling myself from that reality and creating my own.
Right.
And I was just able to continue to do that, and I'm blessed enough to be able to do it again, and use some of the things that Baltimore City has taught me along the way to be able to apply that to this filmmaking world, and it created what we are.
So, is there a time where you're in a deep sleep and you'll wake up with an idea?
All the time. I don't even know if it's a deep sleep anymore. I can't even sleep. I was telling my wife, like, listen, I might need some of this Michael Jackson stuff. And I don't know if I can really say that. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I don't know. My manager might have a fit. But I'm like, I get it. My mind always races now. Like, my body is shut down. But sometimes I actually think that my body is more stressed when I'm asleep because my brain takes me even further to a different place where my body is reacting in the night.
Right.
So I wake up 3, 2, 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm writing down ideas. I'm going in and edit and I'm always click.
We call it body resting.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like, you gotta let your body rest. So we body resting, but really, I can hear everything that's going on in the house. I can hear everything.
Yeah, everything.
But I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, I would love to be able to just really rest one day and just shut down for a moment, but in the last couple of years, I haven't, including with the babies and everything, I don't know what resting is up here. Just my body, it takes a moment to heal itself, but mentally, I'm drained, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're an artist.
Yeah.
Right. So you're always creating, and I salute you for that.
Thanks.
Let's talk about, you've been in the media lately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And things go viral nowadays for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right. But you had no idea.
No idea.
So who like walk us through that day when you got the phone call or text message and like, hey bro.
Yeah. I mean it happened. I think I can't remember the name of the blog. One popular blog site reposted my poster, and then from there, within hours, it just started spreading. And I look up, and almost every big blog site had my poster on their site, talking about the film. And then I noticed that a couple of different magazines like Vibe or whoever else did articles on this story, and it was an interesting experience because the last time this happened to me, the movie was actually out.
Right.
So people can judge it based off of what they actually saw. This one, the movie isn't out and people are judging it already. I just put a poster out and and everyone's going crazy over a poster. So it's very interesting, and you can't fight the internet because it's like me trying to fight Ultron from Avengers. Like you can't. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
So to sit back and just watch how this thing is growing, I appreciate it because you can't pay for this kind of publicity that's happening, good or bad. And I'm just taking it day by day, and hopefully when people get the chance to see the movie, they'll appreciate the message behind it.
Right.
Right now people are taking it as me poking fun, and just coming from a crazy background in general, I would never poke fun at a situation like that.
Right.
I recognize how people could take it that way based off of my last film, There's Saw a Baby on the Highway. That's a parody, so it's a little bit more funnier. We went a different route with this.
Okay.
So people, if they're expecting what they saw from the nurse that saw the baby on the highway, they're going to be totally thrown off.
So there's a message in this.
This is definitely a message. And this is a message that I would love for all men. I don't even want to say all black men. I would say all men, all women, to just take a moment and look at this and say, hey, I learned something from this. It's all about making the right choices. When to say yes, when to say no, when to know how, when to fall back, and to drink responsibly. Dealing with, mental illness, dealing with anger issues. Some people don't realize 5 seconds can change your life depending on which way you go, and that's what I try to portray in this film. It wasn't to poke fun. It wasn't to choose sides. It's just to bring awareness to everyone. Like, listen, these moments that we're in right now matter. You have to pay attention and just think before reacting. And that's what I try to drill in people's head with this film.
No, emotions, a lot of people, I tell people, know 2 things in life. You gotta know how to control your mind, right? And you gotta know how to control your emotions.
Most definitely, yes.
If you can get those 2 things down, we're never gonna get it down 100%.
Yeah.
But if you can just get it down a little bit in control, then you have a better chance in life of, not making like you said, a 5-second mistake.
Yeah, that can cost you 10 years. That can cost you your whole life.
Your whole life.
And that's something in our community I really want to address more than anything. And I say this, and for the world, but really specifically for the community, because that's an issue that I see constantly over and over again. It doesn't stop with just that particular story. I mean, we just had a situation a couple days ago where another man got caught up in a domestic dispute that could have changed if he just thought about it differently. Yeah. This is something that we keep seeing over and over and over again, that it's a heavy issue in our environment. So yeah.
Nah, I know a few that have made decisions like that, and I've always, I actually had to cut some of my guys off.
Oh yeah.
Because I found out who they were behind closed doors. Right. And I don't condone it.
Yeah, definitely not me neither. So you have to be very careful.
But I had to cut somebody off to me once I learned who they were behind closed doors. Yeah. With women.
Right.
And I don't condone that. My father put his hands on my mother, and I saw it. And I was a little boy, but I went and got a knife. Right now, of course, my dad could throw me around. Right. But that always sat with me. Right. And so now, when I have a voice where I can talk on it and things like that, I always want to speak to the women. Yeah. Because there's a lot of women that's going through that daily. Yeah. And they think that it's over. Right. Or some women actually think that that's a form of love. Right.
I've seen it, man. I was recently talking to, I can't say names, but just people that I've dealt with in the circle, and they dealt with these issues. I'm looking like, what? Really? You're dealing with this? And then someone else is like, yeah, me too. And I'm just shocked how many people, again, in our community dealing with these issues that you don't know about. They're silent about the situation. I didn't, fortunately enough, I didn't grow up seeing that type of thing in my household, but I was around it in other spaces where I was like, okay, this is a real thing. And being that I have a daughter now, or just in general, just seeing it as I'm getting older. As you get older, you start to see life a little bit differently. And I'm just like, this ain't right. This is a situation that needs to be dealt with and talked about. And hopefully, again, maybe not with this movie. I can't change the world of this movie, but maybe if it's something that I tap into and someone else taps into, and we keep tapping into this, we bring awareness to it, this might be something where people will start appreciating life as a whole and appreciating each other as a whole. Women, men, and everyone, just stop with this whole DV nonsense.
No, I mean, I like to say, opening up people's conscience. Just like when we were younger, I went to church. Right when I was younger, I didn't know what I was in church doing. Right. Yeah. But my conscience was open. Now, when you get older and you can be who you want to be, and then when you're about to do something, that'll play back. Yeah. With, those words or songs.
Most definitely.
Or your grandmother saying stuff, right? Yeah. So it woke up the conscience, right? And so that's what this is all about. Like, movies that you got coming out and movies that you would do later on. Yeah. Right? No, we can't change the world. Right. But we can open up the conscience.
Most definitely.
And hopefully those people can continue to pass it on.
Most definitely. I believe so. Even with this poster right now, the effect that it's the effect that it's bringing in the world, it's already opening up that conversation. It's already stepping up, having a platform of opening up the conversation of what is this movie about? Everyone wants to know. It's talking about DV issues, you know. So now we have opened the door. Let's talk about it. You know, it's opening the floodgates per se to deal with a problem in our community that we need to really.
And then you have one of the, I would say, you know, talented females that I've come across in a long time. You have Ivy. It was crazy how I met her. And I met her and we were filming one of my projects, and I just asked her, you know, I said, why did you get into dancing? Right. And I'm expecting to get the normal response, right? Oh, just money or car or, you know. Yeah. So when I asked her, and she told me her reason why, I said, oh no, we got to get the camera. Yeah. And she has a story to tell. Yeah. I mean, you talking about someone that when you look at her on the outside, and you can't even tell everything that she's gone through and what she's holding on to in the inside. That's another thing that I think, you know, with people that's been through domestic violence or mental health issues, they don't know how to let it go. Correct. Yeah. And so they just carrying it on from
one relationship to the next, and
from the 20s to the 30s to the 40s, and it's still in there. And so that's just one of the things I believe that, you know, we have to do videos and movies and things like that to show how to get it off of. You know?
One thing I would hate, and I keep saying this, even with myself, man, or anyone, with this film that was created, I want people to watch this and just remember, man, just think, because once you're in that system, once the state got you, you're done. You know what I mean? No one can save you, no lawyer. Like, the state, when they want to do with you. So even with my own sons, I have 2 teenage boys. And, you know, teenage boys gonna be teenage boys. I'm like, yo, listen to me, man. You know, watch this film or just listen to what your father said. I want them to understand you can have it all. You can be the man of the hour and get it all taken away with one wrong choice. Be careful who you select as your company also. You know what I mean? Like, some people, your tolerance might not be able to deal with them, whatever. Let's keep it all the way 100, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't, let's just keep it 100. You can't blend with everybody. You can't force everybody to be what you want them to be. Just stay away from them people. If your tolerance can't take it, if you got a short temper, whatever the case may be, don't deal with people that's going to spark your fuse, you know? So I just want my sons, if anything else in this world, to understand, hey man, listen, I can't save you once you get in there. So let me help you while you're out here. Don't do these things, you know what I mean? Like, just think, use your brain, man. And that's the whole point of this film, is to show people you have to think before reacting. You have to drink responsibly. You can't just do anything because you think that you have a name brand or because the girl care about you, whatever the case, you know. Just be careful with your choices.
No, I mean, when you were talking about your sons, I had to think about my daughter, right? I got one kid. She's 21.
Okay. Jeez, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I knew at some point when she started to hit like 12, 13, I had to get her away. I'm originally from DC. I didn't want her to see none of that, right? And so I moved to Columbia. But when she hit 15, I think, going on 16, I took her to the hood. Okay. And she was like this, like that. What is this? I said, you see that? You feel that feeling in your stomach? I said, when you get that feeling, anywhere going in life, wherever you at, you gotta go.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, so I had to teach her that.
Drill that.
And then I let her watch the movie Boys in the Hood. And I said, what'd you get from it? Because there's a lot of lessons in it, right?
Most definitely, yeah.
But she said, the guy getting out the car, when he said, "Don't let me out."
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Let me out, yeah.
Because his upbringing was different from...
Yeah, he didn't belong there, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he was there, but he wasn't there.
Right, yeah.
Right? And so at some point, he knew that what they was about to do.
Yeah, his upbringing was different,
It was different.
Yeah.
And so that's all we can do as parents. We can open up their conscience, but then it's upon them to make that collective decision.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when they're in that type of situation.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
The whole situation is heartbreaking. And I try not to pick sides in that, but because I am a black male and I'm a father figure.
Yeah.
And Avi will tell her side as well, but on my side, just seeing the gentleman's father outside fussing and cussing and upset that his son was taken away, and I'm like, man, it's too late, bro. You know, like, your son is gone, and there's nothing you can do about that. And that hurt as a father figure, you know, because y'all took my son away, but it's because of the son's hypothetical decision. Like, the state, they got you. Again, like, once they got you, they can say you did it, didn't do it, but whatever they say, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
What you want to do is avoid even being in that situation.
Right.
You know, that's all you can do is just avoid being in certain situations by just thinking twice and saying, yo, if I go this route, it's out of my hands. It's now in the state's hands, and anything can happen. You know, so I just want to resurface to that point, saying, reassure that, listen, there was no mocking here.
Yeah.
This is all about lessons being learned on making the right choices and knowing when to pull back. You know, that's something that we all need to be reminded of at some point in time.
Well, listen, man, I can't wait to see the movie.
Yes.
Right? Just meeting you the few times that I met you, your energy, you know, the people around you, how they talk about you.
Yeah.
Right? I just know that going in, I'm gonna go into watching this movie with an open mind.
Please, yes,
Right?
thank you.
And I'm a dissector, so I watch a movie, I'm looking for the lessons, right? And so I believe that the public will see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, you're gonna have those guys or those women that are just whatever.
They're supposed to do what they do. They do their part. Like,
Right,
that's
we
what
need them.
Right, yeah. It makes balance in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think people will see who you are.
Yeah.
And know that there was no joking about this situation. It was just shedding some light to it and the seriousness of it.
Yeah.
So Alvin, tell the people where they can find you at on all platforms.
You can find me personally on IG. It's the Alvin Gray. So that's TheeAlvingray. Or if you want to just know me on a business level, which is a lot more drier, you can go to 910productions_film. But either way, you'll find me in one of those spots, and that's where you'll find me on one of those spots.
That's on YouTube and everything?
Yeah, or YouTube. You can Google Alvin Gray, and you might see this like handsome Squidward looking guy. That's not me, but the information under it is me. You can just click on it, and it'll still bring you to my stuff.
Okay. I appreciate your time. I know we're on set. We
We shoot the Christmas movie right now. Trying to keep the holiday spirits up. Eating Christmas cookies.
Right. So I appreciate you letting me come into your home. You're on set. I was watching you work.
Thank you.
Very, very dope, man. And I know there's gonna be some big things in the future with you, man.
We're trying, man. I'm trying.
So, it's been another edition of 2 on 2 with my guy here, Alvin. And we're gonna see some more of him.
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned. What's the name of the movie?
The rapper who got shot in the hill. Coming soon.
And we out.